Okay, the minute is already gone, so let's start this webinar. Hello again to everyone. I'm Stefan, the managing director of Broadcast In, and again, many thanks for joining the webinar. I really think it's going to be really interesting for you. So today we will speak about LanSee, about the fiber solution. I really hope that it's going to be really interesting for you. Let's start with the presentation. So let me change my screen. Here it is, and I will try to appear on it. Here I am. So let's start with the beginning and maybe give you a quick word about Broadcast In. So what we do and what is behind Broadcasting. Broadcasting is a company that just launched with 10 years of expertise behind about broadcast specialty camera. Thanks for the experience I got from different companies in the field. So from high-speed camera, controllers, RCP, but also Dreamship camera. So you maybe know Dreamship already. Just to be clear and to make no confusion, and for the people that are in this webinar, I'm still 100% head of sales at Dreamship. But with those mini cameras, we were having a lot of demands for accessories, and especially about fiber solution. So to make the things clear, we decided really to split the activities. So I'm still with Dreamship regarding the cameras, but when it comes to really specialized accessories like that, then Broadcasting is here. So for instance, with LanSee, which is one of the products we have in the portfolio, we have a worldwide exclusive distribution contract with them. So it's almost the world. It's just a few countries that we don't have exclusivity, like France or Benelux, for instance. So if you have demands and you are from those countries, we will definitely help you, but we will refer you to LanSee or to the local distributor if you need some help. So what are our goals? Like I was saying in my introduction, the idea is really to help you and support you with the expertise that we have at Broadcast In about specialty camera, about solution in the field, like again, fiber solution, and really to help you to simplify the use of those cameras in the field. So that's the goal of the company. Where can you find those products? So we have already a network of local resellers in the world. So as you can see, really from Argentina to Australia, those companies, I mean, are really very good companies that I know for a long time. So they are good friends, really professional, and really don't hesitate to rely on them. Can always contact us, of course. We will help you, we will support you. But when it comes to having really some local support, those companies are really, really, really good. So the heart of the presentation, LanSee. So let me speak and start maybe this webinar with a few words about the company. I think it's important starting point because it will explain you also the strategy and the philosophy behind LanSee. So who is LanSee? So that's a company that is specialized into the fiber solutions. They are based in France, and that's important, not because France is a beautiful country, but because it's really a European product. So everything is done by LanSee. This is our PCBs, this is our mechanics, so this is our product. My point is that it's not a Chinese product. So it's really, really, really broadcast, really high quality. I will explain you that within the presentation, of course, but that's important that you know that it's really a European product with all the good things around that. LanSee is a young company, but they have already placed more than 500 products in the field. So that's really impressive. Um, it was possible because actually they are in that field for more than 22 years. So it's not a new startup that comes from nowhere. That's really an established company with really a huge expertise when it comes to fiber solutions. But why LanSee? As you know, there's a lot of competitors in that field. So when it comes to fiber solution, there are really a few big players, and don't get me wrong, they are really good people. So it's really I mean really strong competition, and so we had to be different. And how are we different? It's with this explanation on this slide. The first thing is that everything can be customized. So what does it mean? That means that if you have a project, if you are an end user and you need 4 SDI over fiber plus 2 audio, but not 4, not 5, you don't need Ethernet, then you do the product that you really need. So you just pay for what you need at the end. So it makes our product really affordable. So I really encourage you to check our pricing, because I really think that we are having really a very interesting pricing. Another thing is that our product are pure plug and play. Uh, Again, what does it mean? It means that you don't have complicated menu. You just really plug the cable and it works. We have kind of automatic configuration. I will explain you a big new features that I will announce today, especially for you because you are making the effort to take your time today about that. But that's important, being plug and play, especially in the field where you need always to be fast, always to rig everything super fast. There's no configuration. So no time on configuration and no time and no need for training. So really interesting to just plug the cable, turn the unit, and it works. As I was saying, French company, European company, quality oriented. So they have chosen only high quality components into that. And that allows us to give an unlimited lifetime support. So don't get me wrong, we have 2 years of warranty. But if you have a problem after the warranty, we will always support it. So I was having an example from LanSee that was telling me that they were repairing a unit that was almost 20 years old, 20 years, and they have repaired it. So it's really important when it comes to investment like that to have really a return on investment on a long period. So you can really sleep well at the night. We will support you. The support is really, really important. Um, of course, compliant with all the CE or FCC certifications. So, of course, we follow all the rules that are mandatory. So at the end, it's really about price, as I was telling you, quality, and support. That's I think where we can do the difference. But what do we do? What kind of fiber solution do we provide? So in a few slides, I will show you, so I have also the products here. So I will, of course, really show you the products in my hands, and some configuration. So I will not come into details here, but what are our solution? Of course, it comes always, like you see just behind me, the camera with video signal, SDI or HDMI video signal. I was having a project recently for HDMI transmission. So HDMI also for Pro AV application is something that we can help with. And we transport those signals over an hybrid fiber with different connectors like Neutric or LEMO, but also Fisher connectors, or just pure optical fiber. So hybrid, it's optical fiber and power, and also you can have just a pure optical fiber. The final connectors, we don't care. We just use what you need. Can be LC, SC, whatever. So we just stick to your needs. We do also multiplexers. I will show you some example afterwards, and also distributors. So we have SDI or HDMI distributors, and they are really interesting because they are fully rackable in the 19-inch rack with a reclock on the outputs. So that means that really the signal, the SDI, is always really good. And really importantly, we have zero latency, of course, in our workflow. So you can have like miles and miles or kilometers of connection, zero latency. The Ethernet port that we have on the product are obviously fully compliant with Dante, NDI, and SRT. I've personally tested SRT, and I will show you a workflow afterwards. Really, it works perfectly. So what you have to understand is that when it comes to the customized product, so how does it work? So we have different enclosures, we have different housings and different PCBs. So we really associate, we combine mechanics, hardware with electronics, PCBs, and we put them together and we make a product out of it. So what kind of modules? Of course, video, as I was saying previously, 3G, 6G, 12G, 1.5G, anything, always with a reclock hardware on the PCB. So the eye diagram is always really good. Distributors. So distributor is really interesting when it comes to distributing, like in a venue, in a stadium, different SDI with long length cable. We have a reclock output. So again, I mean, of course, there's always a limit to the distance, but we can really run long cables for it. I forgot something. You have also Q&A in the Zoom tool here. Don't hesitate to ask me question or to ask me to explain again a part of it if you didn't really get it well. I will try to answer all the questions during the webinar, of course. So distributors, as I was telling you, audio, of course, audio is super important when it comes to Pro AV or broadcast application. So we can transport analog audio over XLR connectors or digital like Dante or AES-67. Serial, so serial control, there's still a lot of cameras like Dreamship, the Atom cameras that are serial controlled. So we can transport that over the fiber. GPIO, if you want to transport any GPI information from one side to the other side, or totally information or things like that. So we have also GPIO option. Genlock, of course, B or 3 level options. HDMI, I've told you that before. We support up to 2160p 30, HDCP transparent. And then network, of course, super important. So we have 10, 100, 1000 megabits network, 10 gig is coming. And really importantly, we have PoE on the Ethernet outputs, on the RG45 output. And that's important because most of the cameras now, when it comes to PTZ camera or mini cameras or whatever cameras, I will show you some Sony example afterwards. They are powered using PoE on the Ethernet. We can handle PoE plus or PoE plus plus. So up to 70 watts on the Ethernet output. So of course, when you combine that with an hybrid cable, then it's really convenient. You can just rack a PTZ in the field, just having the hybrid fiber, you have all the connection, and you have the power at the same time. So that's the modules and the exclusivity for this webinar. So no incredible surprise, but at least a very nice new feature. I really like it because I have really much demand for that kind of application. Most of the time, the people are asking me, oh, I would like to get 4 SDI one way and maybe 2 or 3 or 4 SDI as video returns, for instance. But I don't know yet how many for each, so difficult. So now this is past. all our SDI connection, if you go for that option, can be in or out. So that means that if you have like 6 SDI on one product, one day can be 6 in, and the next day could be like 4 in and 2 out, for instance. You just connect the video cable and we sense it, and we know if it's an input or an output that you need. So it's automatically configured. Again, no configuration, turnkey solution. So that's really easy. So you don't need, or your customers, or you as an end user, you don't need to get into the okay, how many connectors, or what is the direction of the of the signal. So really interesting. So that's a new feature that we have. We just finalized the testing for it, and it works really well. So really interesting new features that are really exclusive with LanSee. So I've mentioned the features, I've mentioned the PCBs, the enclosures. So we have different size of enclosures. I have them here. I have a dedicated slide just after that one to show you the difference of the dimensions and the kind of application we have into them. You have already understood that, of course, it depends on the numbers of PCB that we put inside the enclosure. The more features you need, the bigger box you need, of course. So, again, I will come to that just after. The products. So that's what I think really interests you the most. I'm speaking since the beginning about customized product, but we have off-the-shelf product, of course. We have really products with reference. You just order them and you have a fixed configuration. So we have, of course, a few product like that. So we have the Tidy range. So that's the small units. We have some Panasonic or Sony PTZ camera solution. And we have one for the Sony, dedicated for the Sony camera, and especially the HTC P50. I will show you that just after. Tidy. So Tidy is a fantastic product. So let me maybe switch my camera again to this one. Then I can show you the product. So you see it really fits in my hands, very small product. The good thing with that product is that you have the power supply. Sorry, you don't see it. Yeah, maybe that direction. So you just have a power cable IEC connection. You just plug it. You have so the AC DC converter inside the box. And that configuration, for instance, is 2 times, that's a 3G, 2 times 3G connection, and 2 Ethernet. Those Ethernet are a switch port, so they speak together. Possibly we can make them independent, but having a local switch is also very interesting. And then we have different configuration, like 1 in, 1 out, or can be automatic now. So that's also a nice solution. And then we have the LC fiber connection that you see just there. Again, we can put other connection, but that's the most used in the field. So very nice product. So let me come back here too. Really well finished. So you have the handles that protects also the connection. So really practical. And at the back, you have also some small metallic part at the back of it. The idea, and that's what you see just seen on my slide, is that you can rack them in a 19-inch rack. So you see here that you can really have a rack, a 19-inch rack, and the power connection is done automatically. So you just plug in into a metallic part that will bring the power. So no power cable anymore. So really practical. So any SD, HD, 3G, 6G, 12G combination, Ethernet up to 1 gig to switch port, and of course, long distances with the electronic that we are having here. As usual, zero latency. Let me maybe disappear for a second just to give you an idea of the pricing. Of course, that's our price, Xworks from Europe. So If you are abroad, there will be some duties, transport, of course, on top of that. But again, I think we are really having a very interesting product with that one, because you don't really find yet a solution combining Ethernet and SDI at the same time. And everyone goes to IP. So I really believe that this small product is really, really, really interesting. So as I was telling you, optional racks, we have CCU. So maybe I will show you the CCU just after. So I've also nice CCU options and optional fly case. Let me maybe show you the fly case. So the kind of fly case we have. So that's just, I mean, normal fly case. We can really put, that one was meant to be sent in Middle East, so really hot environments. So we have a very high flow fan on that one. And then we can configure it with some pass-through cable into it. So there's a power strip inside. We can really handle it as you want, really easy and practical fly cases for you. Again, don't hesitate to ask questions if you have some. I will be super happy to answer them to you. So that's the kind of example of tidy configuration we have. So it's just different configuration. 1 in, 2 ins, 3G, 12G, in, out, in or out. And now I will add, of course, the automatic configuration to that list. Maybe something interesting for you here. So you certainly know the this yellow boxes that are really famous, really good quality, really good product, of course, existing for some many years. I just made a quick comparison with the Tidy. So Tidy, you just need one boxes or two, a pair, to do the same than with those yellow boxes. The power supply is integrated into the Tidy. So you just need to plug the main power cable. That's it. With the competition, that competition, you have external power supply with a cable, and you know what can happen with that kind of power supply. So, and then we have also something really interesting. We don't use SFP cages on the units. It's the SFP is on the PCB itself. So you know that most of the time when you have an SFP cage, at sometimes it can get a little bit loose, and when you get to that to get really a bad connection system at some point, then you lose the picture, and that's a problem. So we don't have that. We don't use SFP cages. That's our PCB behind. You just connect the optical fiber in this case, and that's it. So it's just a pure optical connection together. Okay, I have questions. Okay, so Tommy is asking if the SDI is agnostic. Can we add later if you want to know how many inputs or outputs at the beginning? So if you have like 3 inputs on one side, they are whatever you want. So it can be 3 inputs one day, or the next hour 3 outputs. So it's really configure as you want. If you want to add a 4th input, that's maybe possible depending of the enclosure you have. Of course, it needs to be changed at the factory, and then we can add anything. We can add another feature like audio, for instance, if you want it. But it's better to know the total numbers of inputs or outputs that you want, knowing that they can be configured differently every day. So I hope that it's answering your question. Yes, good question, and thank you for asking it, Clovis. So the indicated price is for a pair. So it's not just for one unit, of course. It's a pair. So RX takes components. Thanks for asking, but that's really important. Work for example. So here I'm just using two Dreamship cameras. So for the people that know those cameras, that's 4K Mini 16 and or the slow motion SSM 500. So two signals, two video over the small tidy box. Go back over a fiber. Then I'm using the Barracuda, which is an SRT streaming solution. So camera, SDI, fiber, IP, and then you can do whatever you want. So, I mean, maybe your IP encoder is not next to the camera, so you need a fiber to connect it to the IP. So you see the kind of combination you can do. And here we are using a CyanView, so that's that kind of RCP, which is a universal RCP. That can control anything. So, yeah, have a look at CyanView. They do really beautiful things when it comes to RCP control. Another off-the-shelf product that we have is the P-Fiber 2. So P-Fiber is the name of one of our boxes, and we did something really great for the Panasonic PTZ camera. So you see at the bottom, so just here at the bottom of the camera, there's another box from LanSee. So that box fits exactly the camera. So you don't see it. It looks like really an original option. And so what that box, let me show you maybe the next slide. That box actually duplicate all the outputs, all the connection that you have on the PTZ camera from Panasonic, and everything goes over a fiber. So you just connect an hybrid fiber and you can just run the camera remotely and with the power and with all the signals. We support on that one time 3G, one time 12G, PoE plus. It's maybe PO plus plus. Yeah, that's PoE plus plus. So 70 watts, a Genlock, and the hybrid fiber. So all of this, you turn this PTZ camera into a fiber connected camera. So very interesting product. So you see the base, it's really connecting. You just slide the camera into the slots, and then you have a full camera. So let me come back just to this one. And so you see at the end, you have a very neat installation, just an hybrid fiber, and you do whatever you want. So that system is really pushed also by Panasonic. So they don't resell it; they just push it because they really believe it's a fantastic companion to their product. The same with Sony, but this is a bit different. But I like to explain you why, because that's really, really interesting. We have the same for the BRCs from Sony. The only difference, Panasonic is not selling the product. They are pushing it in terms of marketing. Sony has an exclusivity in Europe. So if you want to buy that product, and the next one I will show you, if you are in Europe, you need to go through Sony. We like that. It's amazing. Why? Because it means that a camera manufacturer like Sony decided to just sell our accessories, our products in their range. So when you have a giant like that chooses you, it means something. So we are really, really, really happy. Again, this is just for Europe. So if you want to buy it in America, just contact AVBB and they will help you. So, so let me be clear, Panasonic, you can buy from us anywhere in the world. Sony, just in Europe, they have exclusivity, and that's gonna be from Sony. So if you have a demand from Europe, I will be really happy to pass it to the Sony guys. Other camera. So this is what we call the C-Fiber. Again, I will show you a quick summary about the different housings we have. So for the people that knows that camera, it's a great camera, HTC P50. No fiber connectivity on that one. So we have developed that with Sony. So again, exclusive for Sony Europe. Um, the box, the LanSee box fits just above the Sony. So there's a mechanical, you see that on the side, there's a mechanical U shape that really fits the Sony. And then you connect all the SDI and again, a fiber in between, done. So really nice product too, especially with the Sony camera. So a close-up on the fiber connection and the SDI connection. You have exactly what you need for this Sony camera. That was the off-the-shelf product. So we have a reference, you just order it and you get the configuration. But of course, like I was saying to you in my introduction, one of the main strengths of LanSee is to be able to build the product you need. I cannot comment it too much at the moment, but we are having a huge project in Germany with a big sport, really popular in Europe, where the idea is to install a fixed goal camera in the stadium with a fiber connection in between. This product is definitely custom made because specific requirements. So it was really custom made. So if I summarize that, you choose the features, you choose the PCB. Okay, how many video signal? Do I need Ethernet? On the Ethernet, do I need PoE? Is it plus? Is it plus plus? How many PoEs? How many Ethernet connection do I need? Genlock, B or 3 level, or both maybe. GPIO, how many in out do I need to, I don't know, trick a lighting, trick anything, a Tolly light, whatever. Serial connection. And do I want to add a switcher or a distributor on the product? So we had a project, I will show you that in the workflow, where we wanted to add to the slow motion from Dreamship, the SSM 500, a video return so that the camera operator from his remotes can trick a video return and choose what video returns he wants. So they wanted to switch between the replay so they can see exactly what they are filming to improve what they are doing, or the program. And because there was only one return on the monitor, they just trick on the remote of the lens that was connected through a GPIO on the camera side box from LanSee over the fiber to the OB-van, to the mobile unit, and then it was switching the input on the other side. So zero latency, perfect. That was exactly the solution they were looking for. Enclosures. So let me take some time here. So Tidy, very small one, off-the-shelf product, but we can use that, of course, enclosure to do whatever you want if you want a different product. We have the P fiber, so it's a little bit bigger than the Tidy. As you see, it's a quarter of a 19-inch rack, 1U8, so very small. Then we have, so P stands for PTZ fiber solution, but you can use it for any other camera. You'll see that in my project just after. C fiber stands for C for camera, like with the HTC P50, you just put it on it and you just have all your connection. And then we have the Phi bridge. So I have one here. I will show you that now. Phi for fiber bridge. So it's like a stage box if you want at the end. So multiple input, multiple connection, and that's, so let me switch back to this one. So that's the stage box. So that's the ALF 19-inch rack measurement. So in this case, let me try to find some light. Yes, here, like that. So we have the hybrid fiber connection. I will have a slide at the end to show you why personally I like Neutric connection instead of LEMO. Don't get me wrong, LEMO is really good. But the good thing with those hybrid from Neutric, if you don't want to plug an hybrid fiber cable, you can just directly plug the LC optical fiber in it. Super convenient. So it can be hybrid or no hybrid at the same time. Very interesting. Then you have 4 SDI output here and 4 Genlocks. And then you have the 4 Ethernet output with 4 PoE plus connection. So you can put 4 cameras, 4 PTZ, 4 Dreamship camera, 4 POVs, for whatever. They will be powered thanks to the PO plus connection. So that's a few watts for that kind of cameras available. And then while I'm here with my product, so let me maybe show you the CCU. So very nice, good looking CCU. And what is important, let me try that. So, I mean, we have no configuration, everything is automated, but we have, of course, LED light all the time to show that we have a connection, there's a signal coming in. So that's really important. So that's it. So I have a question with the Neutrik connector. Is there an adapter to go to ST single mode? Yes, there's indeed. I have them maybe here. No, it's other box. So we have indeed SC or ST LC connectors that we can, of course, put in between. Those are really cheap adapters. So yeah, of course, we can have an adapter to do that. So PCBs, features, enclosures, and you combine them as you want. I'm sorry, I see the clock is really turning. I can speak for hours, and I still have a few slides. So I will maybe accelerate a little bit, but I think you got my point with the flexibility. Connectors, so yeah, I will not get into details. Neutrik, Lemo, Fisher for the hybrids. Most of the time LC, but again, we can do SC or ST connectors. Single mode fiber most of the time. But we can do multi-mode if it's really necessary. But I think that most of the installation will be single mode. Then we have the multiplexers. They are sized following the project. So of course, we don't oversize them because they are really costly with all the wavelength they can handle. So we have really different also size for them. And then the hybrid power, so we use 48 volt, 300 or 500 watts power supplies, and then we can go over 100 meters. Sorry, I need to translate that into US, but I think it's like 300 feet, if I'm right, I hope. So long distances, believe me. Of course, the longer, the less power you get at the end because of the resistance of the cable, of course, of the power cable, then the less you get on the other side. Example of configuration, custom configuration. So let me maybe just disappear, 6,000 euro. That's the same kind of configuration than for the Panasonic, but using the P fiber. So not a direct fit for the Panasonic. But again, you do whatever you want. So that one, we've been asked to have a video return. So if you want a video return, it's all fine. Now with the new SDI, you don't have to choose anymore. So so the stage box, so that's the stage box here that I was showing you. So I forgot to mention also, we have always like here M10 big connection. So we can have a handle, and that handle can be fixed to whatever you want. So that one was a perfect match for the SSM 500 because you can have like 4 SSM feeds, so 4 times slow motion 60p, 1 video return, Ethernet PoE plus for the Cyan View, for instance, Genlock, audio in out, so you could make like intercom, audio intercom in between, over fiber, and that's the price, including everything. I can tell you there's nothing on the market at that price. So really interesting. A quick example of good friends. I cannot name them here, but you get who they are. And another example with 2P fibers. One CCU and then two 12G outputs. So we are sharing the power supply to two 12G outputs, and two 4K cameras are connected to the CCU of a fiber. So a very nice project. Splitters, so that's the other line of product we have. So the big advantage of those splitters is that they have they are rackable. So you just put that in a 19-inch rack. They all have reclock options at the back. And we can, again, do whatever combination, as you see on my slide. So 1 to 30 output, 2 times 1 to 15, quad 1 to 4. I mean, again, we do the configuration you need. They really, the SDI signal is really, really good when it comes out of the product. And another one that is also very interesting, it's really pure multiplexers. So maybe for some of you guys, you need really big numbers of connection. So like for SNG communication, or within, you know, facilities, a lot of SDI over fiber. You can add Ethernet having like different independent lines. So again, the configuration you need, and you do whatever you want in terms of SDI. What sort of SDI can be a mix between 3G or 12G possibly. And that one is fantastic with the new in-out, because you don't need to decide the configuration. You just connect the cable and it will automatically be configured. And hopefully I'm getting to the end slowly. A few workflow that we did with our product. And then I would like just to finish on the LIMO and Neutric connectors comparison. So let's start with some workflow just to show you the complex workflow that we can achieve with LanSee. So one CCU, one stage box, one simple hybrid fiber in between, and you have tons of different signals like Genlock, videos, Ethernet for the control, like with CyanView, GPIO. So I was explaining you with the camera operator that want to switch for the video return between a program and slow motion. Then it goes over the fiber, and then PoE plus to power the CI0 from CyanView. So that's a small camera interface. I have one here. So small camera interface. Yeah, sorry, I'm using a green wall, and this is almost green. It's blue but cyan, and PoE powered. So it really easy to use that small box in the field. And again, everything combined together over a single fiber connection. Same workflow. So let me come back to the previous one. So this is what we call trigger mode. So just a live and replay. Or this one is super slow motion mode. So we are pushing up to 4 phases to the stage box. So 4 phases going in the stage box of a fiber, and then on the other side, an EVS or a Dreamcatcher or whatever product. Same workflow, but using Sony RCP, for instance, the same, but in super slow motion. Phantom vision research camera. In the past, that was really popular for slow motion. And then a very nice small system. So a small micro pan tilt head with an Atom one from Dreamship, so the global shutter camera. Just the small tidy. So let me remind you the size. So very small. And then you have a joystick, PTZ joystick connected to the RCP from CyanView over IP, LC fiber, and then you control anything remotely over fiber. So really, really cool application. Next one, the same at the end, but with different cameras. Yeah, that one is also interesting. So Sony, they don't have always a fiber solution on their cameras, especially with the ENG cameras. At the LanSee, and we can turn the Sony RCP over IP with a converter, and then it's fully IP, even using a basic Sony RCP and the 700 protocol, we turned the Sony 700 protocol into IP over the LanSee tidy, and you have the videos and everything. You can get a video back with a video return, or two back, 3G, 12G, whatever. That one was 3G, and we had another project with 12G. Question. Thank you. So somebody is just saying that he has a LanSee product for several years. I'm very, very happy for multi-camera production. In remote production, 10 kilometers fiber, no problem. I'm French, I understand very well your English. C'est normal, je suis français aussi. Donc, you should understand my English. I'm a French native speaker. So I guess that's why you understand me really well. My last slide. So let me just give 1 minute still of your time about this. So LEMO or Neutrik? I'm always getting the same questions. They do the same. It's an hybrid fiber connection. So who was better, Betamax or VHS? I mean, it's not always the better, that the best technology that wins, right? So I like personally really much the Neutrik. And why? Because on the Neutrik, so let me show you a Neutrik cable. So maybe I will just switch back to my main camera. So hybrid fiber connection. If I can open it, of course it's blocked at the moment, but so on the fiber connection, if I come back here, so you have the yeah, it's open. I don't know why it is. Sorry about that. You have the two fibers and 4 small black dots at the bottom, which is for the copper to transport the power. When you connect that, and let me come back to this one, when you connect that to the Neutrik hybrid fiber connection, the optical connector, if you don't want to use hybrid, you can directly just plug a simple LC fiber in it, and that's done. Really convenient. So you can choose easily between pure optical or optical plus hybrid, plus power, so hybrids. The LEMO, you can do the same, but you need to add like from Camplex, you need to add some external boxes to do the same. And those connectors from LEMO are really good, but they are also more expensive than the Neutrik connector. So at the end of the day, it's a trade-off as usual. The problem is that most of the OB-van, the mobile units in the field, are using LEMO cable all over the world, most of them. I've heard recently that Italy is using Fisher, but LEMO is used all over the world. So they want to be practical. So they want LEMO connectors because everyone has LEMO connectors. That said, I see more and more people getting to the Neutrik, because I believe that this flexibility between LC, pure optical, and hybrid directly without any accessory is fantastic. It's really flexible. So that's just my 20 cents on those one. Those two guys are really good. Reliability, everything is really good. LEMO connectors are really great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just thinking that Neutrik, because of the pricing, also, you know, that's it's always a question of budget at the end, and then it's important. So and the flexibility that is brought by the two kind of cables is obviously super interesting. I have another question regarding the Sony RCP, so maybe I can come back just 1 second, and then I'm done. I promise you, I'm done with the presentation. So regarding the RCP, so I'm being asked which model, which Sony RCP should we use. We always have to check that. So in theory, it can be anyone. But then depending of the camera model and everything, it's always better to double check that. but in theory, that should be anyone. So it converts, they all have the 700 Sony protocol. We convert that Sony protocol, so the 8 pins 700 protocol into IP, then over the fiber, and then we have the box that converts back IP to Sony 700 protocol, and that makes a bi-directional system. Maybe while I'm speaking of that product, was not the purpose of this webinar. We might do a specific one for this interface. They have also Tolly connection. So it's not just controlling the camera, you have also Tolly in and so Tolly out on the other side. So you can also play with the Tolly on the camera itself. So it's really, at the end of the day, a very practical, affordable solution to bring fiber connectivity to any Sony, but it can be Panasonic, can be Hitachi, Grass Valley, whatever. We are just transporting SDI. And then in this case, of course, Sony RCP, so it needs to be a Sony, but can be any camera at the end. So, I mentioned that. So thank you so much. That was our first webinar at Broadcast In. So 51 minutes. Sorry for being so long, but I think it was interesting because, again, let me maybe do that. I mean, you have all my details. So again, great product, very well finished. Good guys behind LanSee. They are really dedicated to quality. So I really believe into what they do. I'm really happy to be able to work with them because it's really a great product. So at Broadcasting, we really want to bring good quality product. We pay attention for the pricing. And again, if you want to test the equipment, just give me a ring or just call your local people. Again, maybe I can just show you that slide again quickly. So we have people all over the planet already, from Australia to America to USA, Canada, Spain. So don't hesitate to contact those guys. They are really nice people. And most of them, not all of them, but most of them, AVBB, for instance, or PAT in Australia, they have demo products. So you can really easily test them anytime. So again, if you don't have any other questions, just checking them, because I see a chat and question and answer. So I hope that I didn't miss anything. This was recorded. So that's going to be available soon. If you want to share that with some colleagues or just check it again if you didn't get my French accent. So really don't hesitate to ask us questions, and yeah, stay safe and let's be in touch then. Thank you again for being there for this first webinar from Broadcast In.